Mr. Baltasar from BSBA FTF 44. I'm going to report about the growth potential and turnover analysis on a wholesaling type of business. My featured business is the Agri-Nurture Incorporation. First, let's discuss what is Agri-Nurture. First known as Mabuhay 2000 Enterprises, incorporated on 1997, Agri-Nurture Incorporated diversified into various agro-commercial businesses. From trading post-harvest machineries, it turned out to be one of the country's top fresh mango exporters to the world markets. Also, Agri-Nurture became the provider of the fresh needs of the leading retail and key institutional accounts in the country and to the different regions of the world. In the Philippines, Agri-Nurture have 100% ownership on 12 subsidiaries, partly own other 5 trading and farm managing companies, and a part owner of 2 subsidiaries in China. So, Agri-Nurture Incorporated business involves distribution of fresh needs like fruits, vegetables, and other crops that is produced within the country and to other different regions of the world. So next. This is the financial statements of Agri-Nurture from the year 2009 up to 2012. But we will analyze only the years 2010, 2011, and 2012, and 2009 as a basis. Here's the statement of financial position, statement of comprehensive income and expenses. So first we will discuss the turnover analysis on the company's operations. First is the accounts receivable turnover. Accounts receivable turnover measures the number of times accounts receivable are collected per year. And also, the accounts receivable collection period determines the number of days the receivables are turned into cash. So, to get the accounts receivable turnover, it is net sales over the average accounts receivables. So, net sales for the years 2009 are 1 million, the amounts are in millions of Philippine pesos, just so you know. And the net revenues for the year 2009 is 1,017,000. For easy reference, 1,017.7. For 2010 is 1,585. 2011, 2,203.8. And 2012, 2,329.9. So, and the average accounts receivable for the years are can be cut here in the accounts receivable. These accounts receivables are only for trade. It's for distribution. It's for the operation, for the creation of the net sales. So, to get the average accounts receivable, first you will sum up 2 years over the base year. Over 2. Sorry. Next, and the results for the accounts receivable turnover for the year 2010, we've got 8.67 times. Or if we convert it to the average to the accounts collection period, it is 42 days. For 2011, it's 6.47 times or 56 days. Into 2012, 4.08 times or 90 days in the collection period. These results are all in unfavorable state. We can see that also the trend interpretation is unfavorable for the times or the accounts receivable turnover is declining. Next is the basis for this in making this accounts receivable turnover in 2010, 2011, and 2012 unfavorable is because of the accounts payable turnover. It is said that Accounts receivable should be collected shorter than of the payment of the accounts payable. So to get the accounts payable turnover, actually accounts payable turnover determines the average length of the payment of the payables and how many times it was paid during the year. So accounts payable turnover is equal to annual credit purchases over the average accounts payable. So purchases can be seen on the notes of the company agreement incorporated, but it's not listed here. So the average payables can be computed by adding the beginning and ending accounts. Again, same as the accounts receivable, you're gonna add or you're gonna sum up the base year and the current year over 2. And the accounts payable turnover for the year 2010 is 28.36 times or 12.87 days. Can be collected within 12.87 days. In 2011, 23.71 times or can be collected within 15 days. 2012, 12.54 times or can be collected 29 days. They are all favorable for accounts payable are paid with less beyond 30 days or 1 month. And for like what I said before, the accounts receivable turnover was all unfavorable because the span of payment is shorter than this of the span of collecting the due from the customers. Next is the inventory turnover of the company. The inventory turnover is the ratio showing how many times a company inventory is sold and replaced over a period of time or after the normal business operation. It can be computed cost of goods sold over the inventory. Then, the average age of inventory refers to the average number of days it takes to sell the inventories or turning it into revenues. It can be, you can get the days by computing 365 over that inventory turnover. So, the cost of goods sold here for the years 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. Cost of goods sold. For 2009, the cost of goods sold is 867.4. For 2010, it's 1,322.8. In 2011, it's 1,750.4. And for 2012, it's 1,951.9. Please remember that the currencies are in millions of Philippine pesos. So the inventory, when you locate the inventory, the statement of financial position. For 2009, it's 37.7. In 2010, it's 77.5. 2011, 155.4. And for 2012, it's 134.9. So by dividing the cost of goods sold by the inventory, we can get the result here. So the inventory turnover for the year 2010 is 22.97 times, or the inventory is sold within 16 days. In 2011, 15.0 times, or the inventory was sold within 24 days. In 2012, 30.44 times, or the inventory was sold within 27 days. The inventory turnover for 2010 was favorable. For 2011 is unfavorable. 2012 unfavorable, and the trend is unfavorable because the replacement of the inventory is declining from 22.97 times up to down to 13.44 times on the current year 2012. It is said here that what is the basis of the favorable or unfavorable within the inventory turnover? remember that Agri-Nurture Company is a distributor, wholesale distributor of fresh goods, fresh meats, fresh crops. And as to what I have researched, the freshness, the good quality of a crop can only be stored, or the freshness or the quality can stay only for less than 3 weeks, in the span of 3 weeks, on the date of the harvest up to the date of the distribution. So here, 16 days is favorable. When distributing fresh meats, freshness can still, and the quality can still be is still present within 16 days. But as I said before, the best quality that can be achieved by within exporting this kind of goods is only for 3 weeks. And as you can see, on 2011, it's, the replacement reached 24 days, and in 2012, it stayed longer for 27 days. That's why the trend interpretation is unfavorable. Next is the total asset turnover. So total asset turnover is the measurement of the amount of sales generated for every peso worth of assets. This ratio is more useful for growth companies to check if in fact they are growing revenue in proportion to sales. So to compute the asset turnover ratio, we will divide the net sales over the average total asset. So we can find the net sales here again on 2009, 1,017.7. On 2010, 1,585. On 2011, 2,253.8. On 2012, 2,329.9. And we can get the asset turnover ratio by dividing the net revenue or the net sales by the average total assets. So again, to get the average total assets, we should add or sum up the 2 years, then divided by 2. The base and the current year add, then divided by 2. So the total assets for the years are 769.9 for 2009, 2,424.3 for 2010. For 2011 is 3,761, and for 2012 is 4,893.1. So by obtaining by following the process, we can obtain the result. For 2010 is 0.99. We can translate it in percentage, 19 or 99%. 2011, 0.72 or 72%. For 2012 is 0.53 or 53%. These are all unfavorable. We can say that total asset turnover are all unfavorable for the years 2010 to 2012. It is because total asset turnover measures how much sales, how much the portion of sales is generated through the use of the total assets. So here, it should have at least 1:1 ratio to be able to have the return on the total asset within the sales generated on the years. So here, it is even though only a percentage or 1% is only needed to get this or to make this unfavorable still, to make this favorable still, it's unfavorable because 1% means a lot in the company since we're talking about millions of Philippine pesos. The next is 0.72 still unfavorable, 0.53 unfavorable. That's why the trend interpretation is unfavorable. So next I will discuss the growth potential analysis. Company's growth, as you can see on the statements, seems to be blurred for the year 2012 based on the income statement because the returns are declining. As you can see here, 35.7 on the year 2009. It just rose to 90.8 on 2010. It rose again on 193.8 for 2011, but it declined almost twice. For 2012, 105.1 net income. So, yun. Next is when it comes to the balance sheet, there can be no problem traced because the current asset versus the current liability, current assets versus the current liabilities shows, could satisfy much of the liquidity portion. So, there can be no problem because they can cover up the short-term obligations. For a deeper analysis, we can compute the gross profit margin. Gross profit margin can be a big help for you to determine the percentage of each peso remaining once the business enterprise has paid for the goods acquired. So, in computing the gross profit margin, it is gross profit over net sales. So, gross profit can be obtained by deducting net revenue, deducting cost of goods sold from the net revenue. So, the gross profit for 2009 is 150.2, 262.2 for 2010, 503.4 for 2011, 378.1 for 2012, and the net sales are, again, for 2009 is 1,017.7, 1,585 for 2010, 2,253.8 for 2011, 2,329.9 for 2012. So by dividing the gross profit over the net sales, we can have the gross profit margin 0.17, 0.22, and 0.16 respectively for the years starting 2010, 2011, then 2012. The result shows that the company pays more than for the merchandise itself than the profit it earns. So you can see that the cost of selling goods was very costly. The reason, maybe the low gross profit margin is the reason why the company receives lesser net income and will result to no growth potential. Lastly, by computing the profit margin, it is the net income over the net sales. Net income for the years 2009, 35.7, for 2010 is 90.8, for 2011 is 193.8, and for 2012 is negative 105.1. So the total revenues are the same. And by dividing the net income over the net sales, the profit margin for the years are 0.05, 0.09, and a negative 0.04, respectively, for the years 2010, 2011, and 2012. Showing no potential growth since the return or the profit margin was very low. Next is the summary of findings. Summary of findings, favorable. The company pays its liabilities in a very short span of time. The company sales increased for the 3 years analyzed. Then next is the unfavorable. The inventories were held too long. As we can see on the results of the inventory turnover. The collections of receivables were poorly managed. Profitability of the company on the year 2012 fell. Lesser assets were utilized in generating sales. That for every piece of asset, a small return from sales were generated. The statement of the problem. The company's management of activities was inefficient and has a lesser chance to exhibit growth. Specific problems. The company has weak collection practices and policies. The company held the inventories too long that it may affect the product's quality, that result to the decline of the net income for 2012. And the company held more of its assets than utilized it to create revenue. This is the result of the gross profit margin. So conclusion, the company exhibits a poor collection practice and much effort is needed to meet higher grounds for collection since the turnover is declining, meaning it takes long period of time converting receivables to cash. Inventories were turned into cash in a moderate way and yet it was helpful in generating income and distributing more inventories. Then, the company held more assets than used to generate revenue. The company's growth potential is weak for the incoming year since it was a downturn for the company. Sales and net income should be the focus of the strategies of the business, and an efficient cost of the merchandise should be properly measured to retain much of the revenue and not only for the maintenance cost, because the company only realized the break-even. And that's all for the analysis of the Agri-Nurture Incorporated. Thank you.